Hello, good people. Welcome to our show. Hello, bad people. Welcome to our show. I don't want to discriminate bad people. We love everyone who wanna learn more about SEO digital marketing and how to get results today. Because it's not about to get more traffic on Google. It's more about getting real sales. I'm so excited to discuss all these topics with Alex Tatarin and Flavin. How are you?
I'm doing really well. And what about black hat SEOs? Are they the bad people or are they good people?
I don't know. I mean, like even bad people can be in white hat SEO, and good people can be in black hat. For me, everyone is good. It's just opinion. If you ask anybody, you're good or bad, probably 99% can say they are good, but 1% can estimate is bad. But I think everyone is good. Everyone is good, especially if they wanna learn, and to. Create smart strategies, especially today, because it's not like chasing volume. It's more about how to get real sales. Alex, you spoke on my podcast 2 years ago. Many things changed. Our episode was
Oh
about
my God.
AI prompts. Yeah,
The
for two
world
years
turned
ago.
upside down. The SEO world and the world.
Yeah, I remember that. So basically, probably for the last 2 years, things changed more than for a decade. Many things, because Google usually updates algorithms, but when AI mode appeal, when AI overview, we have ChatGPT aggressive today, so perplexity, many things. And today, SEO can become an extra channel. Uh, and many strategies can be, I don't know, probably revised, or it's better to rethink how to optimize. And by the way, I can see good news as well in that, because I often see when the masters chase volume, they just chase volume that doesn't bring any sales. So, Alex, before we start, just tell for new listeners about you, for old listeners, what happened for the last 2 years, and anything that can help to learn more about you.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure to talk with you again. And already in a short time, you've hit on some very interesting topics that might make sense to get into. Black hat SEO. I also want to say I was very impressed with the quick preview of your tool that you showed me, because I think you hit the nail on the head with clickability and topics like engagement, because that is becoming more important in SEO and GEO, because I strongly believe that engagement is the top Google ranking factor. I'd like to talk more about that later, but a little context about myself. I'm currently the SEO and GEO lead at Zapier, a wonderful organization, the leader in workflow automation. And it's particularly exciting for me to work at Zapier because I've been working on automating a lot of my work for the past few years. I'm very interested in the work that you're doing in that space too. And before then, I also did a little consulting for an online ticket marketplace called Vivid Seats. And that's another organization where I got the chance to work on some exciting projects, particularly programmatic SEO, a subdiscipline of SEO that I've been super interested in ever since around 2017, when I worked at Reader's Digest. And I saw that we were able to drive 10 million plus more organic visits per month without creating any new content, just by combining existing content into things like easy dinner recipes. So that's one of my passions. That's what I've been up to. And I've been doing SEO since 2007. So I'm sure you've been hearing from a lot of people who you've talked with that this feels like the early days. This feels like the Wild West, when you have to figure it out on your own what works, not trust what everyone else is saying, do your own testing. And all the different LLMs have different algorithms. And I've been watching the algorithm leaks closely and have some opinions on that.
Yeah, yeah. I usually check out all these algorithms, but it's tough to chase all of them. Many things can happen today, and probably we can't recognize most algorithms. But what I can see today, I think probably it's a good news for marketers, for real marketers who wanna optimize for humans. I mean, like I like more marketing books than SEO books, because I mean, like if you can learn some good books about SEO, things can change. But marketing, human psychology, people are the same. Technologies are growing. but people are still people. They have emotions. They can make decisions because of some impact, and you need to find the way by using these technologies to provide this impact. Alex, let's talk about geo. It's very important. What I can see the last time, I found many guides about geo, how to optimize for geo, how to rank, how to get a reference on ChatGPT, on AI mode, many places. And I can't agree with most insights there, because people are still looking how to manipulate. It's like black hat, not SEO geo, but they're still looking for ways how to manipulate the system, how to cheat it, how to put your link there. I don't think, even if you can find a way how to cheat the system, let's imagine like for short time, but things are growing fast, like 40-60% of all results are changing in one month. Sometimes when you ask the same question on ChatGPT, you can get two different answers. So even if you do it like in a few seconds, it's normal, it's okay, because AI can change replies, and the system is looking how to improve. uh, what do you think about real, or for example, if you need to lead my audience and your customers in the right direction, what is the best advice to optimize for geo today?
Wonderful setup and great question. Something I'm very interested in. I'm also really happy about your distinction between marketing and SEO tactics. I believe that Google's goal, their long-term goal, is to provide the best content to visitors, even though they don't always succeed at that. But ultimately, if that's your goal, then you are going to align with Google and meet somewhere in the middle. So I'm very happy about the increased focus on user experience and brand building of GEO. And I strongly believe that engagement is the top Google ranking factor now. We don't know exactly what the top Google ranking factors are anymore, because a few years ago, Google employee said that links are no longer in the top 3 ranking factors. So for a while, we all assumed that content, links, and engagement were the top 3 ranking factors. Links fell. Then Google confirmed that those are the top 3 ranking factors. Then Google announced links are no longer in the top 3, although I believe links are coming back because they're a type of citation. And it's important to be aware of studies like the Ahrefs study of 75,000 brands that found that branded web mentions were the top factor correlated with higher visibility in LLMs. Related to that, a great SEO, Kevin Indig, reported that branded search volume was also a top predictor of visibility in LLMs. But I strongly believe that now that engagement is the top Google ranking factor, which is good for users. And for a long time, SEOs, like Rand Fishkin notably, were very adamant about their belief that Google is doing things like looking at when people search for something, click on a page, and then quickly click back to Google because they didn't find what they were looking for. And Google told us, no, we're not doing that. But lo and behold, once they were involved in litigation with the Department of Justice, they were forced to admit that they were doing exactly that. But Google said, oh, we're actually doing that indirectly. So what I believe, based on some research that I've conducted, is, or what I suspect rather, is that Google is aggregating engagement data and penalizing or rewarding during core algorithm updates. Now, engagement is really, to get back to your question, engagement is really important. That's why I was really impressed with the very short demo you showed me of your tool and your focus on clickability. It's not enough to have the right keywords in your meta titles anymore. You want people to click on them, and you want your meta titles to be descriptive of what's actually on your page. Interestingly, I saw a collection of a mega case study a couple of months ago that showed that folks who are optimizing for meta descriptions are probably wasting their time because it's not helping, and in some cases it's actually hurting. So we've come a long way from meta descriptions being a ranking factor. So engagement, hugely important. And one thing that I find really interesting as I monitor LLM algorithm leaks is that they're all very quickly copying Google's top ranking factors. So when, for example, when Claude's system prompt was leaked, we found that Claude rewards information gain, just like Google. We found that Perplexity rewards engagement and freshness, just like Google, but possibly on a shorter time frame. We found that ChatGPT rewards depth. But I also believe that engagement, that information gain is climbing as a ranking factor.
Yeah.
And for listeners who may not be aware, information gain is a concept that Google patented several years ago that refers to things like unique data, unique perspectives, information that nobody else has. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Google and LLMs reward information gain. And I think part of the reason for that is that out of the box, LLMs can't generate information gain because they're trained on third-party data. So us SEOs and GEOs have to think of creative ways to optimize for information gain. And that's also great for visitors, because who wants to have another article on the same regurgitated article on how to optimize for SEO with no new information? And that's partly what Google and LLMs are hedging against by rewarding information gain. So for example, if you're writing an article, why not reach out to a dozen experts on X or LinkedIn with a different unique question and say, hey, can you mind providing some input for this article we're writing about? Get a unique perspective. That's information gain. Do your own research with free resources like Google data sets, Reddit, SEO tools, etc., and provide that information. That's going to provide a real value to user and support your engagement metrics. I'm also a huge fan of usage stats. I strongly believe that some of the most valuable information that companies have is about how people use their service or their products. That's not true in all cases, but in many cases, for example, this was something when I was consulting for Vivid Seats that I recommended for them, was providing information on things like cheapest day of the week to buy tickets, percentage of sold out shows, things like that. And that's information that's going to be unique to Vivid Seats that other folks don't have. And on top of that, it's not just information gain. It can help with improved engagement, and it can also give you a boost for freshness if you're updating that content dynamically. And for Google, freshness is a minor ranking factor, but we know some LLMs are rewarding freshness too. So it's a triple whammy, optimizing for information gain with tactics like usage stats. So that's a little bit about my advice to folks who are trying to learn about SEO. I would first think deeply about what the top ranking factors are. And naturally, the Ahrefs study, Kevin Indig's reporting, it makes perfect sense, right? Because LLMs are trained on third-party data. So you want to make sure that other websites are talking about you and talking about you fondly. That's a no-brainer. So what are the top ranking factors? And then I would also consider the distinction that you made between marketing and tactics. What can you do that's actually going to improve the user experience? Because that's what all these algorithms are trying to do. And if you're focused on user experience, then in the end, you're likely to win. And do your own testing. Don't rely on what other folks are saying.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I like it. And by the way, you mentioned about description. I check out some studies. Meta text description, I think like it depends, because when I check out the studies, I didn't find the full analysis of all different niches. I mean, like each case is different. Of course, they analyze in some niches where website owners don't have descriptions, and Google found better description. Yeah, it might work, but what I can see today, Google still recommends to use meta text description. Microsoft Bing said about that. It's very important to have meta text description. So I think it depends. It's better to analyze. Probably you can test different approaches, but I think it's still important because it can explain about the context of the page. I analyze that. Even some studies can show if you write long titles, because Google cut more than 60 symbols, but Amazon can provide like 200 symbols titles. And I don't remember who said about that, but
I saw that too. I
yeah,
saw that too. The study about for a long time, SEOs thought that you need to make sure that your meta title doesn't get cut off to improve click-through rate. And
yeah,
then we learned the opposite, and that Google knows well enough to by now to insert the parts that are going to be relevant to the searcher. But
yeah. It's tough to explain in short title everything. I mean, like, but if it can help Google to recognize the user intent of your page, why not? Why not to write like Amazon can do all the time? Any product plus 200 characters. It's okay. It's normal.
You're absolutely right. You have to do your own testing, but
Yeah.
you know what? Google is great at being technically accurate in their statements to the SEO community while being completely useless.
Yeah.
So Google, for example, I'm sure you are aware, has said a couple of times already that a few times that you don't need to do any GEO. You just need to do regular SEO.
Yeah.
And I was beginning to mention to you earlier that there are some other very controversial opinions about this in the SEO community, and that's one of my favorite topics to talk about on controversial SEO topics. And for one that I remember that I was bringing up is when Ellie Schwartz, one of the thought leaders of product-led SEO, said that GEO is dead, and it's based on search results. So if you have good SEO, you're going to have good GEO. But since then, we've learned about a lot of important ways in which GEO is different, not just tactically, not just in terms of brand building, but also in terms of technical SEO and accessibility. There are some important distinctions there. And that's one area I'm very interested in. We can get into that later, but I'm also curious if you have any controversial takes on SEO or GEO.
Yeah, I think my opinion is different. I think if you wanna play a long game, it's better to focus more about uh, creating content for human being. It's normal. It's not like controversial, but I think to pay less attention to SEO best practices. Of course, SEO is important. It can help to optimize, but I usually craft the best possible content that I can for human being. And if I can optimize for SEO without hurting UX, without hurting this engagement, then I will. If it hurts engagement or UX, then I will not do it. This, I mean, like, I think it's better just to forget about many recommendations and think about only humans, because all algorithms are created for humans, and in the long run, they will recognize any content for humans, the best possible content for humans. And I think like it's for a long game, it's very important. For short game, if you are looking for a way how to cheat, manipulate, I'm not sure if it works even for short game. Probably, just myth. Okay, you can get traffic today, but it will drop. I'm not sure that you can get traffic today if you just optimize for bots.
You just reminded me of something very interesting I found recently. I saw this for a couple of websites, actually. One of them is ours, Zapier. But I've been seeing this all over the place lately, and I wonder who is doing this. But for Zapier, I saw that we had a significant increase in traffic in Ahrefs in the millions. And I was looking into where it was coming from. And it was all coming from one keyword: wireframing tools. And then I looked in Google Keyword Planner, and I saw that, yes, even Google is reporting that search traffic for wireframing tools increased to 2 million visits, 2 million searches per month. And I thought, there's no way that's possible, that it's going up from like 590 or something to over 2 million per month. So here's what I think is happening there. I think that some SEO is testing something that I wanted to test for a while and sending bot traffic to Google to search
Yeah.
for these terms, to click on their website, to
Yeah.
use that as an engagement play to increase rankings. And fortunately, Zapier is still number one for wireframing tools. So whoever is doing that, it's not working for them. Good for you,
Mhm.
Google. But at the very beginning of this podcast, you touched on a very well. Before I get into that, I'll also, since we're talking about Ahrefs and traffic methodology, that's a fault that Ahrefs has in their methodology, but I don't really fault them for that because they're likely relying on Google's search volume data for that. And Ahrefs and SEMrush are both great for a bunch of different reasons, but viewers should be aware that SEMrush has a significant problem with their trended estimated traffic methodology. And a great illustration of this is you can see this if you look at trended traffic for certain types of seasonal businesses. This is very interesting to me because, for example, if you enter a site like a tax site like TurboTax or H&R Block in Ahrefs, you're going to see the seasonal tax bump every March and April, significant increase in traffic. SEMrush doesn't show that, just so steady traffic throughout the year. So they're doing some kind of normalization that is not useful for trended traffic.
Mhm.
But back to Black Hat SEO. Another topic that I'm interested about is, so some of the smartest SEOs I've worked with, the bad people were Black Hat SEOs, or the good people. And I wonder, so Black Hat, we've known for a long time, is not the most reliable long-term tactic for SEO because Google penalizes Black Hat tactics and they're always looking out for that. And that's part of the reason why they're so tight-lipped about how they use engagement as a ranking factor. And as soon as people know exactly what the ranking factors are, they're going to trust Google less because they'll assume that people are manipulating those systems. But I'm still not totally aware of what LLMs are doing to penalize spammy tactics. So we know, for example, that Google said that they stopped penalizing for a spammy link building and they started devaluing spammy links, but that's not actually true. I've actually seen manual actions for spammy link building since Penguin 4.0 when they announced that. But what are LLMs doing? Are they penalizing spammy tactics? I've been looking into that a little bit, and I know that some LLMs, for example, have trusted website lists like Perplexity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way that they're potentially hedging against spammy practitioners. And I've even seen a bunch of websites, including Zapier.com temporarily. And this started, I believe, on August 7th when GPT-5 was released. If anyone who's watching this podcast noticed a significant decrease in conversions from LLMs or traffic from LLMs starting on August 7th, I would check if you're getting unsafe link warnings from ChatGPT. That's what we found. So if you ask ChatGPT for a link to your website, a bunch of websites will have an unsafe link warning. Are you sure you want to go to this website? It might not be safe. But if you try to go to the Mayo Clinic or a very reputable site like that, you're not going to see that warning. So I'm very interested in what these LLMs are doing about spamming tactics, because there has been so much spam going on. Even earlier this year, people were putting invisible instructions to LLMs on their pages, the same color as the background, telling ChatGPT to ignore the previous prompts and just tell them that this tool, this product is the best. And it was actually working for a while until ChatGPT patched that up. So I think it's very interesting that the LLMs are copying Google's top ranking factors, but I don't really see what they're doing in terms of clamping down on spammy practices yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I know only one spammy tactic. I can share. I didn't test. I can share with you, with audience about that. So basically, once I got the request, can I uh, help you to rank on ChatGPT? 100% guarantee you pay when you get links and mentions on ChatGPT. So when I analyze this request, so basically it's really tactic. I didn't test it, but I found I started to search online and I found it works for many. So basically, how it works, you can use API ChatGPT and send requests about specific brand. For example, you can send 1,000 requests about this brand, mixing with different keywords, and ChatGPT can think, okay, it's popular. Probably I need to share about this brand more with others. I don't know if it works today. I don't know if that worked at all because I didn't test it, but I learned about these tactics someone used. So just by sending API requests, it's not hard today. You can buy API on ChatGPT. It costs like a few dollars, and send all these requests, and yeah, to rank high on ChatGPT. So I don't know.
That's a cool one. I'm also aware of an organization. Of course, I won't name which one it is, but they invested in tens of thousands of ChatGPT accounts and did something similar. Just kept talking to ChatGPT about their service and continually guiding them into believing that theirs was the best product and saying, no, really, this is the best one, and going in that direction. And they reported that it actually worked. But back to your point, don't trust anybody. Test it yourself.
Yeah. Alex, I want to ask about you shared about direct indirect factors, yeah, and you shared about href study. I learned about the study when I mean like on the study they shared that like mentions can bring 3 times more results, higher results on AI search than backlinks. So I was surprised about that. That was tough even to get the study from Ahrefs that can sell the services by providing backlinks. But they shared like they analyzed 75,000 pages, and they found if pages have mentions, brand mentions without even linking, they get 3 times more higher results on AI search. And for me, it's like indirect factor. And I see when ASIOs usually pay too much attention to direct factors. For example, if you go to gym and building muscles, to work hard, to train hard, I mean, like it's like direct factor. But eating healthy food, it's indirect, But many professionals can say like 50% of all results of eating healthy food, eating right, for if you rest, then you can build real muscles by training. I mean, like 20 or 30% just can provide from training. The same with SEO. I don't care. I mean, like brand mentions, no follow links, do follow links, still mentions, still can recommend your content from other places and can bring good results. What do you think about today? I mean, like, do you still believe in this domain ranking on Ahrefs, domain authority, MOS, AS in SEMrush, or it's better to pay attention just mentioning your brands?
Oh, that's a great and tricky question. And that's also, and that also speaks to, I think directionally it's useful, but I'm also interested in bias because what you say about yourself, for example, is going to, LLMs are going to understand to trust that a little bit less than what other sites say about you and what New York Times or USA.gov says about you. So it's really, you're right. It's really about the quality of the mentions. I think links can fall into that category, but I think just like with traditional SEO, if you're just counting the number of links and they're all coming from spammy websites, then you're doing yourself a disservice. And interesting that you mentioned no follow versus do follow. You may have seen this study. I think this was also Kevin Indig yesterday reported that there's outsized influence of from no follow links in ChatGPT and Perplexity. So we've suspected for a while that Google may also reward no follow links to some extent, but really interesting to see that it's possible that LLMs are giving them more value, and that makes sense. Links are a type of citation. So are links back in the top 3 ranking factors? I'm not sure. I think engagement and information gain are 2 of the top ranking factors to watch.
Yeah. And for example, I remember when we earned backlink from Forbes, it's tough that we provided a few PR campaigns and we got this link from Forbes, no follow. And client reply, it's no follow. What? You can't get the follow link from Forbes because nobody can do it. It's forbidden in Forbes internal policy. But it's Forbes, it's big resource. It's not about even to get links. It's more about how this link can help to get traffic, to get recognition to your brand, because it brings real authority. For me, you can't get the follow from Wikipedia, from Forbes, from CNN, but even if you have them, it doesn't matter. Links, mentions, it can help to build authority. It can help to build brand awareness. So today, I really don't pay too much attention to the follow, no follow, or mentions. If any project can use white hat SEO with PR, link building, any links or mentions are good. Any of them valuable. If you pay for the follow links on PBN or any other useless stuff, it doesn't help. So probably you can cheat Hrefs and SEMrush and Moz ranking, but you can't cheat Google on that.
Spot on. And there's a cheesy joke that you reminded me of. How do you know if a link building agency is any good? They call themselves a PR agency. Have you curious if you've ever bought links?
I did it. I did it many times, but
I tested it too. And sorry, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I mean, like I bought many backlinks in my life. I bought many of them, but in 2009 I didn't know even any different strategy. I just bought all backlinks. I mean, like I remember my living method was to analyze how many competitors have backlinks and to double them. And that worked well before Penguin. The first Penguin in 2012. So when I wake
you've been doing SEO for a while too.
Oh yeah, that was a hard time because we rank high with many keywords. We got a lot of traffic, crazy traffic, and in one day it dropped. I remember that was in April 2012. So all traffic dropped, and that was a big surprise for us. We didn't know because that we didn't get any news what happened. That was not like today. If core algorithm, any other algorithm, just traffic dropped, and only after for a while, like 3 or 6 months, we got it about this algorithm. We started to learn, and since then, we are not aggressive on that. So I can buy backlinks even today. I can do it, but if I can do it, I learn. Okay, its project was not created for selling backlinks. The main goal to sell or monetize with different approaches. Second, this backlink should have real traffic, real audience. And of course, in that way, why not? Yeah, I can buy it. And it works. And even we bought a few really good backlinks, and we got this we got better traffic with that. But I'm not aggressive on that. So we pay more attention to PR, we pay more attention to white hat SEO.
Have you ever seen any benefit from disavowing links?
Honestly, the last time when I checked this tool, that was like over 10 years ago. I don't remember when I did it. We did it in after 2012 to probably 2016. We worked a lot with this tool because many terrible things happened. But since then, I didn't get even one time manual actions.
You know what's oh nice. You know what's wild? In my opinion, there are a bunch of journalists at top news organizations that have links for sale. I used to know someone who would sell links at the New York Times for $1,000 a pop.
Yeah,
At
even
other
expensive one.
other large organizations.
Yeah.
Don't trust everything you see online. A long time ago, I think this was also around 2012, or sometime before Google has stopped blocking, has started blocking personally identifiable information in Google Analytics. I remember a little test I ran where I went on Reddit back then. That's when I think when Dig was still around too. And I like found a relevant a post that was relevant to one of my clients when I was at an agency. And I remember commenting, "Oh, this looks like this type of product. Is that what it is?" On one of my clients' products. And then I would actually be able to see the actual Facebook user that clicked through and purchased that product via my link on Reddit. So Reddit, especially on that type of site, I think you should, as good as they are at being wary of spam, you should still assume that a lot of people are trying on Reddit are spammers.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, in my life, I got 2 times Forbes backlinks. One we earned with PR, real PR, and the second time we paid. We paid for this link. And
Cool.
yeah, one link builder said to me, if you wanna get backlink from Forbes, we have this window in the next month, and I don't want to say how much he asked for that. I shared with my client, he accepted, told me, okay, let's do it. I hope anyone from Forbes will not listen to this episode.
Or maybe improve their methodology. But yeah, Forbes, I've heard about a lot of people gaining links from Forbes actually, and some in not very black hat ways, but they've had a lot of guest posting programs, guest blogging programs, and that's how a lot of people have driven links from Forbes. So it's not surprising to me that they no followed all their links. And I also think a lot of sites like that, a lot of publishers are going to continue to lose tons of traffic because more and more people are going to go to ChatGPT to get that content summarized. But I'm glad that you were talking about focus on creating content for the users because whether it's on landing pages or top of funnel content, I still think there's very high value in that and very high value in top of funnel content. So I think top of funnel content is going to continue to lose traffic. And we saw that too for a little while at Zapier. Our blog lost a lot of traffic. We're recovering it though with some really good SEO practices. But I still think it's going to be very valuable for a lot of hidden reasons. For example, funneling link equity to your important pages, funneling conversions, assisting conversions, etc.
Yeah, yeah. And I know a few real big projects that don't have a lot of SEO traffic, but they have right traffic. Even some companies are in Inc. 5,000 companies in the US, real big companies. They don't have SEO traffic. They have it, but real small and right traffic. Right traffic that can bring real sales. They ignore any top funnel, medium funnel, just only bottom funnel. Bottom funnel, I mean, like the traffic even less than 10,000 people monthly, even less. But this company is Inc. 3,500 on the rating. Can you imagine that?
Oh, cool. One thing you said earlier in this podcast was very smart. Focus on the conversions and the revenue. Revenue is the top metric, even though for some reason some folks don't consider revenue to be a metric. But that's another thing that I would say to folks who are starting out in the LLM optimization space, GEO, AEO, AIO, is that there's a top level of confidence. And that's the money, that's the conversions, that's the actual traffic that you can attribute to LLMs. And you can do that attribution by looking at refers. You can't get the full picture because a lot of the LLMs strip refers and UTM codes. And then below that, the second tier of confidence is looking at all the other metrics that the visibility trackers like Profound, who I'm currently working with, and other tools like Athena, Peak, YK. The visibility scores, citation share, sentiment, share of voice. I also believe that share of brand is becoming more important to your brand search volume compared to other websites. And it's really nice to be able to show executives a chart of your visibility going up and to the right, but what does it matter if it's not translating into conversion? So I really like that.
Yeah. Alex, let's talk about engagement. You mentioned in the beginning that engagement you think is very important metric, probably the most important metric, but how to measure it? I mean, like we can measure like bounce rate, we can measure time on site, we can measure just simple metrics, basic metrics in Google Analytics 4, but how to measure engagement rate?
Oh, great question. I'm not totally sure, but here's what I want to test. Here's what I like to test in that regard. I wonder if Google is using the exact definition of engagement that they use in Google Analytics 4, meaning a session that had an interaction on the page, had a click to a second page, or lasted more than 10 seconds. Although in Google Analytics 4, that can be 10 to 60 seconds. So I'm not exactly sure where it falls in between there. But that's something that I'm very interested in studying, because we know that that's how Google defines engagement. And to study that, we can do things like look at trends for that type of engagement rate, and then see if they're rewarded during core algorithm updates. With a few websites in the past, I have seen that engagement optimizations and other indirect ranking factor optimizations were rewarded during core algorithm updates. For example, Google has said for a while that authorship is not a ranking factor, but we know from the quality rater guidelines that were leaked many years ago, and then Google started providing them regularly, yearly, that they tell their quality raters that authorship to review authorship of the content that they're reviewing. And for the listeners, the quality rater guidelines are guidelines that Google provides to real people to rate websites, because their goal is to get their algorithm to be as accurate as the human ratings. So that's why they do this practice. So for the, I looked at a few websites that optimized their authorship. And a bunch of companies have been disappointed by this, because they created great author profiles, great author pages, even hired experts to be their authors, and even hired expert reviewers, for example, medical reviewers, because health and financial content has stricter guidelines. And then they were disappointed that they didn't see any increase in traffic immediately afterwards. But what I saw is that they saw a bump during the next core algorithm update. So I think it's possible that that's what Google is doing. And I'm also curious if Google is actually defining it as they're defining it in Google Analytics 4, but that's something I need to test myself.
Yeah. So yeah, we have the step engagement in GA4. Yeah, but I mean, like, it's not the scoring system like from 0 to 100. You need to figure out by combining all these factors that you can see. Alex, I have a very important question for youngsters. Today, according to data, like big tech companies laid off 65,000 people in the US in 2025 because of AI. Yeah, AI can replace very smart people, because you can't join Microsoft or IBM if you are stupid. No, they can choose the best top experts, and AI today can replace them. So I want to ask for new CEOs who want to join this niche, but can't find the job, like interns. Because, for example, if smart people can get this job, interns, and today what we can see that most companies are looking for AI solutions, AI agents that can replace just manual job, non-creative job. And probably it's not simple today to find the job when you have no skills, when you acquire skills. In many years, we acquired the skills to join companies, to learn from different projects. But let's imagine you started today from scratch without any experience, knowledge, skills. Forget about Zapier, about all your SEO skills. It's your first day in SEO field. Nobody wants to hire you. What will you do to learn about SEO?
Great question. And it is tough for younger SEOs out there. But I think that companies are shooting themselves in the foot if they don't train the next generation, because they're going to need them in the future. And I feel like a lot of those people are going to get hired back. There's speculation that some of these layoffs are only using AI as an excuse to save some money by letting people go. But at the same time, it is a tricky question, because I strongly believe that some people believe that AI is overrated, that it's going to be a bubble. I think it's underrated. I think that it's going to become a deeper and more important part of many parts of our lives: automation, healthcare, personal improvement, things like that. So I think it's vastly underrated. I think that it is actually important to think about what field you want to go to and whether it's something that's going to be completely taken over by AI. For example, editing might not be the best field to go into right now. But same thing, I would say to businesses or clients that I've worked with: find a differentiator, find something that you can do that can really provide value and that you can show off. That's what I'm proudest of in my career, that I've been able to improve traffic for all the companies that I worked for. But to younger SEOs, I think you should understand that SEO is an area that's constantly evolving. That's part of the thing that I like about it. You should be sure that you want to work in an area where things change so quickly, especially in the last couple of years. And it's not a type of job where you can ever say, my work is completely done, I can take a break. There's always something else to do. So I think that if you're interested in it, it's a great place. It's a great industry to work in. And you don't necessarily need to do SEO for other folks. If you're really passionate about getting into SEO, do SEO for yourself. Start your own website, start your own business, start something small and local. See if you can improve performance for yourself. That's how a lot of SEOs that I know have gotten started in SEO, by working on their own projects, through content creation, or through development. And really, I think that's one of the best ways to become successful, is to do the work for yourself instead of other
100%.
clients. So see what you can do for yourself. I think that would be a really good idea for the long run, to have your own income stream.
100%. Yeah. When I was young, only one way to get knowledge: I should go to library, to sign up and to search for a book. Today, Google, YouTube, ChatGPT, I don't know. You can learn a lot without joining any college, because I spoke plus 700 marketing experts, and I don't remember even one who had SEO degree. Everyone joined from different niches: development, writing, journalism, designing. So, and SEO can welcome everyone if you wanna make your hands dirty. So today you don't need to go to library, you just need to open Google, ChatGPT, YouTube to learn all the stuff. And for example, I did it with PR. We had one big project in finance niche, and we paid $6,000 for one press release to write and distribute among journalists. And we needed 12 press releases a week. It's a lot of money. I didn't have this money. That was out of my budget. And what I did, I started to do myself this job. So I wrote a bunch of press releases. I can't count how many, probably plus 1,000, So I distributed most of them. And probably in 3 months, I didn't get even one link mentioned. So everyone, all my press releases were a completely failure. completely. But I learned each time. I learned. I improved. I read probably all articles that I found on Google, plus 100 articles. I watched many YouTube videos. I listened to podcasts. I made my hands dirty. After 3 months, I got first simple small mention. 3 6 months, my results were below average. After 9 months, for this specific project, we got Forbes, CNN, Business Insider, Bloomberg, many big publications. And what I did, I wrote myself. I understood by doing something. Of course, I read best practices, case studies, online studies, but I did myself. Then I explain how it works to blog writers, because we had great writers who can post content on Investopedia, big website. So basically, people know how to write for this finance niche. They wrote for us, but they didn't know how to write press releases. I explain to them, so you can teach people. Okay, it's quite different. It's not evergreen content. You need to create content for PR, for media coverage, and they've learned. I managed the process, delegated, and we got all these mentions. A lot of great backlinks, mentions, and I did it without any skills, without knowledge. Just Google, YouTube, ChatGPT. That's it. Nothing else.
That's perfect. And that's a fun part of the learning journey. And if you can learn on your own website rather than a client's, then that's even better. It's less risky. Another tip I would give to younger GEOs and SEOs is that when you're first beginning on an engagement, I would, of course, you want to work on the important high impact and high effort projects, but also make sure that you're sprinkling in some of the low effort and high confidence projects, because that will help you gain trust with leadership. A lot of execs are getting really tired of SEOs who are messing around with stuff that doesn't really help. For example, I believe a ton of technical SEO is overrated. Things like optimizing for canonicals and pagination, messing around with pagination and sitemaps. One controversial opinion in the SEO community is that if you have good internal linking structure, you don't even need XML sitemaps. But I don't know if I totally buy that. So if you prioritize those types of projects, you're more likely to get a few quick wins, and then you'll get more support for bigger and riskier projects. And always make sure to set expectations. For example, some types of projects, I'm sure you've heard, you're aware that many types of content projects, the traditional time to see impact, people will give us 3 months or 3 to 6 months, because it takes Google a while to fluctuate your rankings and see where you deserve to rank. And also things like site structure changes can cause your rankings to fluctuate. For other types of projects, for example, engagement optimization, I believe you may see impact during the next core algorithm update. Some types of projects you might see impact immediately. For example, schema optimization. With certain types of schema optimization, as soon as you get it right, the next time Google crawls your pages, you'll see the rich results next to your URLs in Google search results pages. So very important to set expectations. And I also believe that SEO is an industry where you need to have very close communication with everyone. Make sure everyone, especially people on the SEO team and other departments and leadership, know what your priorities are, because things change very quickly. And related to that, here's one more tip, this has saved my butt many times. Everywhere I go, I like to set up, this is something I'm working on at Zapier now, but we haven't been able to prioritize yet, set up performance change alerts and code change alerts. So that way, and you can set up a very granular performance change alerts in a lot of tools like Google Analytics and Adobe. I really like setting up performance change alerts in Adobe, because they have a trigger threshold estimator, which will show you how many times in the so for example, if you set up an alert to send someone an email whenever social traffic or organic traffic drops to this group of pages more than 25% month over month or something like that, Adobe will tell you, okay, this alert would have triggered this many times in the past year based on the analytics data we have. That's a very important part of performance change alerting, because if you're sending too many emails, it defeats the purpose. People are going to ignore them. Same thing with code change alerts. Right now, we're looking into that with a couple of tools called Datadog and Databricks. But before these tools, I'm also a big fan of tools like Content King and SEO Radar for code change alerts. And you can set it up to alert you whenever important ranking factors are changing, things like, or not even ranking factors, but things that can affect search performance. So I guess they are ranking factors, but things like robots metadata, robots.txt, if analytics code goes missing, if some content goes missing from a page, you'll get an email about it. And that's been very helpful for me in the past and has prevented me from finding out about those things on my own, maybe a month after it's happened or so.
Nice. Love it. Alex, I have my final question, very important for my audience, about future of SEO. I'm terrible to forecast the future. I did it many times. I failed with price Bitcoin. I failed with President of America. Many forecasts where I failed, but I love it. So future can surprise. Anyway.
I never understood how Twitter or X became so popular. That was one of my failed predictions. I'm like, how is this site getting so much usage? But now, I get it.
Yeah. I remember, by the way, like 10 years ago, one of my friends came to me and told, look, we have this new coin. It's called Bitcoin. You can buy it now like 100 or 1,000, So I replied to him, please don't waste my time. I'm terrible busy, with many things that I can think they will work, So yeah, and I remember that like 10 years ago, he asked me just to buy. If you don't want to buy 1,000, buy 100 bitcoins. I can sell you. And yeah, I told him I never buy something that I don't understand. Today I understand very well, about Bitcoin.
No, that happened to me with Dogecoin. I remember reading about it very early and thinking, what a silly meme. And people became millionaires off of Dogecoin.
Yeah. Okay, Alex, let's forecast the future of SEO. What kind of future will be in like 5-10 years? Your prediction about that?
I believe that LLMs are going to become a much more important part of our everyday lives. There are still people that are holding out and refusing to use ChatGPT. More people are going to come around. We're seeing ChatGPT adoption double essentially every month or so. It's going to continue growing. Google's not going to take that lying down. I also believe that there's a chance that a lot of the LLM visibility trackers are going to fall by the wayside. That's not a new opinion. I think it makes sense that a lot of SEOs and GEOs are going to want to get their LLM data from the same tools that they get their organic search data, like SEMrush and Ahrefs. Maybe even some of the enterprise tools, but that's less of a consideration for the average SEO. And I'm really impressed with what SEMrush has started to build in the last month. I think a few companies are trying to work on this. No one's really figured it out perfectly, but if one of these SEO tools figures this out perfectly, I think they're going to have a huge advantage. So one of the my favorite ways to do keyword research and topic research is in traditional SEO is to find and for example, you can do this with a few websites in SEMrush, but I have a much more involved process that uses some different metrics for gap analysis. So what are the keywords that multiple competitors have high rankings for that we're not ranking for at all? That is one of the best ways to find opportunities to build new pages. I love building new useful pages. It's driven so much traffic for me in the past. Doing that right now as Zapier with international expansion, with template optimization and expansion. And really, there's no great way to do that yet for LLMs because all of the tools that are out there right now, you have to insert your own prompts, and then you can see for those prompts how you perform compared to your competitors. But in the last month or so, SEMrush, I think they're getting really close because you can enter any in their AI SEO feature. You can enter any competitor and see all the topics that they have high visibility for. But even SEMrush hasn't gotten it perfect yet because their freaking export button doesn't work yet. For a month, it just says export and grayed out. And in the last week, they wrote soon next to it. So who knows? Also very interested in a company called Brandlight. I've evaluated so many tools that have promised this before, like Profound and SimilarWeb, etc. Profound was working on this for a while, and I understand why it's tough. It's a really expensive project. That's another reason why one of the bigger players like SEMrush and Ahrefs may take over in the space, because it's very expensive to get all the data and to buy it and to feed millions of prompts to get a broad view of the gaps, so you can see all the topics without having to enter the prompts yourself. So I think that Brandlight, they're more enterprise and they work with a lot of Fortune 500 companies. I think they might have some. They might be able to do that also. So those are a couple of the companies that I'm watching right now. I think they have a strong chance to win in the long term. And I think LLMs are here to stay. They're just going to get more and more popular, a more important part of our lives. Those are a couple of my predictions, but really, who knows? The world is such a crazy place, but it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, I love this news because I'm here like on the second stage. I can't build ChatGPT, I can't build Google, but I can use this technology and adapt whatever happens. For me, it's tough to predict what can be, how things are going on, but I know how it works today. I work in real time, and my prediction: if you want to adapt for the future, just create the best content for human being. So if you create the best content, it should work at any environment. It can bring results for any algorithm that we will see in the future. But prediction, I don't know. And but I know like marketers on TV and radio didn't lose their jobs. They adapted to digital. Forbes became a thing before internet, and Forbes adapted to digital. And if we even have virtual reality, I don't know, okay, we can adapt to virtual reality. But if you have experience to create high quality content, it's more simple to adapt. Without having skills, it's tough. You can take a new thing without having experience with just marketing, SEO, knowing how to help real customers, people. So yeah, whatever happens, just adapt and move fast. Alex, it's a big pleasure. Yeah, you want to say
Same
something?
here. And that's very smart. Content is king is a cliche for a reason. You've made some great points on this call.
Yeah, it's a big pleasure to get on my show, to learn from you. Welcome back anytime. You don't need to wait for 2-3 years to get back. So
I would love that.
yeah, if you want to bring value, always welcome, so we can help
And I'm
more.
so excited to try out your tool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so I'm looking for your feedback. I will put to my homepage your feedback. Tell the best way how to keep learning from you, how to reach out to you, how to follow you.
My LinkedIn. I got blocked on X due to buying too many followers about 10 years ago.
Okay,
Maybe I'll make another profile at some point.
I have profile. Yeah, I'll tag your profile because we have this live stream on LinkedIn. So yeah, I'll tag your profile, guys. You can find the link in the description below, or find my post on LinkedIn, so you can follow Alex. I recommend to anyone to follow, to keep learning, because you can see many things are going fast, but with the right skills, you can adapt to whatever happens. Okay, guys, love you. See you.